Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, I present to you my Saiyan offensive build called Glass Cannon. What is up, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video. My name is OmegaPro, and I've got another build video for you guys. My last build video was just kind of showing you what I built, which was more of a balanced Saiyan build, and that's what I did to get through the initial game, to get through the campaign of the game, and do some parallel quests and stuff like that. But now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Now let's get into the actual good builds that I'm going to be telling you guys about today. So these are going to be useful for either doing like parallel quests, expert missions and stuff like that, or maybe even if you want to run some battles with your friends where you guys play without limitations, so you can really see whose character is better with no limitations on you guys at all. See who really is throwing down the hammer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to call this build the Glass Cannon. Glass Cannon is a very popular term. If some of you guys don't know what it means, it just essentially means that you hit like a cannon, meaning you're gonna deal a lot of damage, but you will shatter like glass, meaning you don't have much in the ways of defenses. So let's go ahead and start talking about what you need to do to have this class booming. All right, so I'm gonna break this up into a few different scenarios for you guys. The first scenario is a scenario in which you never even went to Guru's house to defend it, so you don't have your potential unlocked. For those of you guys that don't know, if you defend Guru's house enough times, he will actually, quote, unlock your potential and allow you to put up to 125 attribute points into your character. We'll talk about that build after we talk about just a vanilla build. You're level 80, you have 332 attribute points to put into your character. What do you do? Right off the rip, I think it's gonna really depend on what kind of player you are. If you want to use this Glass Cannon build, you must be hyper offensive. I'm gonna let that be known right now. If you are not a great offensive player, if you are not great at pressuring your opponent, this is not the video for you. But you will deal a lot of damage doing this, and if you have the correct play style, you will be destroying kids. Trust the kid, you know what I'm saying? Trust Papa Omega. All right, so first off, you're gonna wanna put max attribute points, 100, into your basic attacks. A lot of this game comes down to your combo game, and if you're gonna be very, very aggressive and you're gonna be very, very offensive, you got to learn how to use and utilize your combos. So you're learning your combos, you got your combos down packed, and now you have the basic attacks to go along with it. Next up, after basic attacks, I have Ki Blast Supers at 100. Another reason for this one is because I feel like that is what I like to use the most. At the end of a lot of Saiyan combos, you leave your opponent wide open to get hit with an ultimate attack or maybe a super attack that might not necessarily be a strike super. Strike supers are awesome for getting in close and extending your combos, like doing a super dragon fist, or meteor crash is a great move to use when you break your opponent's stamina and you just want that extra damage. So for Ki Blast Super, if you want to go with the Strike Super build, you can very well do that. But the next attribute point I have to be maxed out is going to be your Ki. And this is going to go all into your Ki Blast Super build. I feel like this build that I'm talking about here, this Glass Cannon build, is going to be really, really strong for those people that like to use those Kamehameha waves, those Gallic guns, those Kaioken Kamehamehas, whatever the case may be. You can get away with doing it with this build because you have the Ki to support that, right? You don't have to sit there and wait for your Ki to charge. You don't have to sit there and charge your own Ki or whatever. You have enough Ki that's going to be expendable. So by the time you use a little bit of your Ki, by the time you're getting in with your combos, with your huge basic attack, you're going to get that Ki back. And for the rest of your points, I'd probably recommend putting them into your Strike Supers because I feel like Strike Supers need to be a part of every kit just because you need to be able to cover the field, right? You need to be able to have multiple things your character can do, because if you're only limiting yourself to supers, to Ki Blast Supers rather, then you're just gonna have a bad time, because what are you gonna do when you're up close and you need that extra bit of damage that your combo won't provide for you? You've gotta have Strike Supers, so I'm going to say put the rest of that into Strike Supers. Now you could flip this around, and instead of putting Ki Blast Supers, you could have a Strike Super build. So that way your strike supers are doing a shit ton of damage. What you could even do, which I think would be a little bit more risky, but what you could even do is instead of putting your points into your ki, you can put them into your strike supers. The reason why I don't recommend doing that is because of the fact that you're not gonna have enough ki to sustain your very offensive build. I feel like that ki is a mainstay for this build. You gotta have that ki to be able to punish and to be able to deal that massive amount of damage that you just wouldn't be able to do otherwise if you had no ki. Now let's go ahead and talk about if you did talk to Guru. If you are going for that extremely cheeky build and you just want to get that, you just want to punish people, right? I'm gonna say again, 125 basic attack, 125 super, and just dump the rest into your ki. That's what I'm gonna say for that one. I feel like that one is going to be like, that is just so risky. It's so greedy to go for that build, but damn, you will be swinging like a truck, trust me. With this glass cannon build, your opponent's life bar will be depleting so quickly. You're not even gonna be able to, you're just gonna start the match, it's gonna say, start. 3 seconds later, your opponent's dead. It's gonna be insane. So now I know I've been talking a lot about the great things about this build, but this build has heavy weaknesses. And if you wanna go for this build, it's very important to know what you're sacrificing here. You're sacrificing health and stamina, which I think are the most important things to take note of with this build. You will not have those things in your disposal. So you're probably gonna only be able to Z-vanish maybe 1 or 2 times. You're only gonna be able to take so many hits. You've got to be extremely offensive with this build, because if you're not, you don't have the defense to make up for it. If an opponent can force you to get defensive, you will lose because you have no defensive options set up. You don't have the stamina to use evasive skills and then also be able to Z-vanish behind your opponent if they still happen to catch you out moments later. You don't have that option. So you've got to be extremely wise with your Z-vanishes. A smart thing to do is to learn when characters' combos will leave them in a staggered state. A lot of characters have an ending to their combo where they're sort of lingering on for a little bit. Like they go for a strong hit that's gonna knock you away. Like I know Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku has something like this where he knocks you away and he just stays there for a little bit. If you can time your Z-vanish to be on time with that movement exactly, then you can still punish your opponent and be able to deal enough damage and deal a long enough combo so that way your stamina can come back and you won't be so defenseless. So that is my offensive Saiyan build, the glass cannon build. Remember, it's gonna do a lot of damage. You're gonna be very dangerous, but you will also die very easily if you're not careful. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please consider leaving it a like rating. I hope it helped you out. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your keys to being an offensive character? Also, one thing that I did not mention is the transformation you should be using, either Potential Unleashed or Super Saiyan 3. I'll have a video detailing Super Saiyan 3 versus Potential Unleashed in the future, but let me know what you guys think you should be rocking in the comment section down below. Subscribe here if you're new. We have Xenoverse 2 all the time. My name is OmegaPro, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.